we wanted to just go over the sampling questions that everybody submitted, narrow them down to the ones we like, and then divvy up the sections for writing the assignment that we're then going to turn in on Wednesday. All right, so let's go. If you guys can all go to the survey questions, we're just going to go through here, trim the fat, narrow it down, and then ask ourselves, with the questions we've asked, do you think we are going to get the data we need for the research questions we want answered? So if everybody can go to the Google Doc, I will copy and paste it in this guy. It's in the sidebar if you need it.
Oh.
It's in the, yeah. Cool. So our survey questions, we should keep them in between 20 to 25 questions for all survey questions. So I put basics on there, about 7 questions. So 7, 14, 21. Yeah, 6 to 7. Okay, so let's just trim the fat demographics section. Let's look at that section first. Actually, let's skip that and go to college major nutrition. And then we'll do, after we narrow down, making sure that we have all the questions we really need for college major nutrition, then we'll know how much we should cut from the intro and ending. So college major nutrition, let's see. Okay, so let's read through and go ahead and highlight the ones you really like. Okay.
Okay. So I'm doing this on my phone and I can't figure out the highlight feature. So I'll just
tell one of us what ones you like.
Okay, the first one for sure. I think that's obvious.
It's that color, yellow.
Let's see how many servings. I like the second one too.
So remember, the purpose of this one is, to what extent does college major impact the student's awareness of proper nutrition and nutrition decisions? So that's the goal of this section, is to get the data for that.
I like the how much do you care about your nutrition?
You don't like that
I
one?
think that No, I do like it.
You do. Where is that?
Yeah, I think it's like the third one from the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if we can put that one down at the bottom as a final question instead of in the majors question.
Okay. All right. So have we all chosen the ones we liked?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Someone highlighting another one right now?
No, that was an
Okay. Perfect. That's right at what we need. Okay. So now this is the question, and now we have to ask ourselves, do these survey questions answer our research question? And if it does or doesn't, then we need to add or modify as needed. So to what extent does college major impact a student's awareness of proper nutrition and nutritional decisions? What is your major? I think that's pretty fundamental. Although I think we might want to include, we decided that's a lot of data to try and go through. And so we almost wanted to do it by college.
Yeah, I watched the video.
Oh yeah. So, how do you guys feel about that if we change this to what is your college? And then we include all the colleges and they choose one.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that idea.
All right. Next one, to what extent does college major impact students' awareness of proper nutrition and nutrition decisions? About how many servings of fruit and vegetables you consume per day? Okay, so we've established what major they are, and now we need the other factors, right? So I think how many servings of fruit and vegetables is a good question. What do you guys, I think it does the job. What do you guys think?
Well, it's kind of the whole point of our study, so I think it needs to be there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, do you drink soda pop or other, we didn't want that one. Okay, are you vegetarian or vegan? Yes or no? Question, why is this a good question?
I just highlighted it and wrote it just because I think it would be good information to know. But I mean, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Well, vegan or vegetarians are going to eat more fruits and vegetables than somebody who isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. My personal belief system is just because you're vegetarian or vegan doesn't mean you're healthy. But that's just me personally.
No, I agree. I thought it would be interesting to have on there, but
Okay. About how many times do you eat out per week on average? Any insight on that? Any feedback on that one?
I think it's good. It's a nutrition decision. I think it fit.
I think it's a good one. And it can be used to compare to the research we've seen. That was a common research question from other researchers.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale from 1 to 5, how much do you care about your nutrition? I think that's solid. I think these are all really good, guys. Okay. Perfect. Moving on to the next section. Any other insights on that section?
I didn't know how to highlight it, but it was highlighted on my end. I highlighted, do you eat while you study? If yes, is it fruits and vegetables or chips and candy? And we can put it in if you want or leave it out, whatever. It's fine with me. I just put it in just for the fact that a lot of people mindlessly munch on things when they're studying.
Does it help us get to the research question of how college major impacts a student's awareness of proper nutrition and nutritional decisions?
Well, not really, but kind of, just for the fact that we're studying what they eat, and if they're mindlessly eating a bag of chips while they study versus a bag of carrots or celery.
So do you feel that would go, the data would somehow support a connection between your major and this? I think it might.
It might.
What if we put that question at the bottom? Because I don't think it's a bad question.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good question. I just don't know if it works with college major nutrition. Is it all right if we move it down to the bottom?
Oh, of course.
I actually really like this next question too. Are you aware of nutritional guidelines?
Okay.
Like, I think that answers the question pretty good.
So is that question, does that help us get to, is it help us answer the question of to what extent does college major impact a student's awareness of proper nutrition decisions?
Yeah, I think it counts as nutrition awareness.
Okay. All right. So should we highlight that guy?
Hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So is anybody have any do we want to save or put these other questions anywhere else before I delete the ones that weren't highlighted?
So what did we decide for the vegetarian one? Did you guys want to do that, or do you want me to take it off?
I'm someone else should respond to that question.
I'm indifferent.
I think
know a lot of them, so
I think it's fine. Maybe it could like go at the end, like not in this section, but
okay.
Okay, is that seconded by anybody?
Sure.
Okay.
because I think it would be interesting too.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So these ones I can delete. Do you drink soda pop? And have you taken any nutrition classes? If so, how many? That was a hard one because I thought that was a really good question too.
Well, instead of deleting it, why don't let's just move the ones that we're not sure about to the bottom, and then we can go back over.
Wait, do we not have room for that one? The nutrition classes? 1, 2,
Um,
6,
let's see.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we would have enough for it too. Maybe it's just like every question you put in this section is ones we can't put on the demographic or the final questions, which is fine because these are the
Yeah.
things we really need to get down. But yeah. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, we can keep it. How about do you drink soda pop or other carbonated drinks? If so, how often?
I think we could get rid of that one.
It's pretty specific.
I think these are really good questions, guys. We'll go ahead. Go ahead and just move it, but we'll keep it.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Do the same thing with the ones in structured nutrition. And we got to speed up the process a little bit too because we're running out of time.
So we're in McCall at our cabin. So I'm just waiting for my husband to finish getting ready. So I probably have longer than 6:30, but it's yeah.
Okay, I still want to try and see if we can't get stuff done real fast because I want to go roller skating tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, I still only have until about 6:30, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I like the credits. How many credits are you taking?
My thoughts on it is like, I don't know if we would get. I think we might get more from the second one than credits because
How many hours?
you might take a 4-credit class but not do anything in it.
Okay.
I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I wrote both of them, so I'm indifferent.
Okay. Debbie, you are the other opinion there.
I'm sorry, I was trying to figure something out here. What was the question?
So we're talking about how many credits you're taking versus how many hours do you devote to schoolwork. And it was brought up that I brought up the idea that if you can take a 4-credit class but not and then take a 2-credit class and spend more time in your 2-credit class than your 4-credit. So I think hours might be a better indicator.
I agree with that. And a great example of that is HS 391, right?
Yeah. Although we're trying to measure stress, right? So is it possible to spend less time but be more stressed about a class than another class that you spend more time in but aren't stressed about?
I think
so.
typically if you're more stressed, you're going to be working on it more.
Okay.
If you're worried
And
about
we
it,
might get that data with the next question. On a scale of 1 to 5, how stressed would you say that you are? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and remove the how many credits, and we'll just rely on the how many hours to determine that.
perfect.
Okay. Next section, next part. Everybody like the on a scale from 1 to 5, how stressed would you say that you are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe that your overall stress level has an impact on your nutrition? Yes or no? I like that too.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay. Do you have a job and go to school? If so, do you work full-time or part-time? I think this question brings up a good point of job and stress. I'm not
Yeah, I think
sure
it's
if it's already taken care of with previous questions though.
job. Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. The point of this is to identify what impact do BYUI students believe that stress has on nutrition. So,
Let's see.
you know, that third question is really good to address that. Do you have a job? So what was the purpose of this question? Do you have a job, go to school? If so, do you work full-time or part-time? Who wrote it?
I wrote it. I also wrote the one before it, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm indifferent.
Gotcha.
The third one's probably better.
Is the assumption that if you have a job, go to school, work full-time, that you're more stressed?
Well, in my previous experiences, I've been more stressed when I've been going to school. So
I can definitely vouch for that.
Do you feel like the
Yeah,
question on a scale of 1 to 5, how stressed are you, would indicate stress better than that question?
probably.
Okay. Is everybody good if I remove it then? Unless it has another purpose that we're trying to address.
Fine by me.
Okay. All right. When stressed, does your consumption of sugary or high-fat food tend to increase, decrease, or neither? I really like that question. Anybody want to second it?
I like
it.
Do you feel it adds something to the questions we already have, or is it a question that's addressing something we've already addressed with a previous question?
I think it adds to it.
I think so too, because if you look at do you believe that your overall stress level is an impact on nutrition? That's kind of biased approach towards addressing how stress affects nutrition. It's like, no, stress doesn't bother me. But then this question takes your bias out of it and saying, well, do you eat healthy?
Mhm.
So we might see a discrepancy in between people believing and people actually doing, especially in majors that aren't aware of nutrition. So they may think that sugary foods are healthy for them or something.
I think in some cases it's okay to add another question that kind of sounds similar to another question, just because people are going to, like you said, think of it differently.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, now this one's funny. Do you have children?
Lucy, does that make you stressed?
That makes you
Yeah.
Go to school too.
So is this is the purpose of this question to address if you're stressed? Is the assumption here that children cause stress?
No, if you have children and you're trying to go to school, it's hard.
Probably the same
Kids,
as the job.
no matter what age, are a lot of work.
So is this a similar thing to the full-time job thing that we've addressed with on a scale of 1 to 5? How stressed are you?
Yes.
I would
Okay.
say.
All right, then we'll just cut and paste it somewhere else. Okay. Was there any other ideas that came to you guys as we went through that section?
Mm,
That's a no. All right, moving on.
So-
Social support and nutrition. Okay. Do your friends or coworkers encourage you to eat out? If so, how often?
That just sounds like a weird question to me. Like, what do you mean by encourage you to eat out?
How
Does
about
that mean like,
invite you to eat
hey,
out?
we should go get, yeah, like we should go get food, or like, hey, you should go eat out
Okay.
today.
Let's
Like-
skip it for a sec and see if there's a better question that addresses what that question was supposed to address.
Okay.
Are you currently involved in any public diet or wellness programs?
I like that one.
I do too. I like that. Although it needs a follow-up question, I feel. Because it's like, yes. And then would you say, like, you know what I mean?
So, would we want to know how many people are involved, or would we want to know
So basically
you're
what I think
doing?
the question is getting at is like, do you have social are you engaged in a social support mechanism for your nutrition? And then I think the follow-up question for that needs to be, has it helped? Or like, do you feel your nutrition has improved or something like that? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good.
I like that. Has your knowledge increased now?
Yeah. Or we could even do a sliding scale, you know. Has it helped or hindered you? 10 being helped, 1 being hindered you, or whatever. Let's see. For this, we're trying to get at what impact do BYUI students believe strong social support has on nutrition? Yep, and I feel that does the trick. Okay, do your friends or family regularly try and encourage you to eat healthier? Do your friends or family regularly try and encourage you to eat healthier?
I think we need to either keep that one or the first one, but I don't think we need both of them.
Yeah,
I
both of
don't
those
really
are trying to address the same question, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I read this question, I feel like the surveyor is assuming that I don't eat healthy.
Gotcha.
I don't
What if we were
know if I like that.
what?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if I like that the way it sounds.
If we kept question number 1, instead of saying encourage, put invite.
Would it motivate? Do your friends and family motivate you to eat healthier?
What if we, guys, what if we did a series of questions like, for example, do your friends and family, does your social network eat healthy, yes or no, right? And then say, does this impact your nutrition or something like that? Because then we get a feel for if their social support is making an impact on them. We could find out that we could find out data that suggests that students aren't. I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
I think that's a lot less, like a lot less assumptive. So I think it's really good to put it that way.
Okay.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay, we'll keep going and see if anything else pops up, but keep these ideas in mind. Or should we write it in real fast?
Write it in real quick so we don't forget it.
Are you ready? Are we leaving from there?
Something like that. And I think we could even do it on a scale.
Yeah, something like that.
When we eating alone, do you tend to eat at home or tend to eat out? All right, someone help me understand the purpose of this one.
Okay, well, I wrote it and I guess I was thinking like when you're not surrounded by people, what do you do? But I don't really like it that much.
Got it. But you were going for when not influenced by social support, do you eat healthier or like what's your eating habits like? That's kind of
Right.
what we're going for.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that would do great. Now I think that would be a great follow-up question after something that was like, I think that's good. I think that's a good idea, Lucy. I just think we need to reword it somehow.
Yeah, the wording is bad.
Does your eating behavior change when you're alone versus when you're with people?
Yeah.
Do you guys like that? Does that address what you're going for, Lucy?
I like that. I'm just thinking of, is there a way to word the question where we could give them some options?
We could.
But that might be tricky.
We could do something like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impacted are you by who you're eating with? Or something like that. Is that what you're looking for?
Not exactly. I like the way you worded it before. What did you say?
Does your eating behavior change when you're with? I forgot what it was too.
When you're with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Oops. Dang it. This is so hard on my phone. Okay. Because I know that's definitely true for me. Like when I'm by myself, I don't care as much about what I eat.
Gotcha.
So how would I mean, we could say like if so, how? But that's
Yeah.
kind of open-ended.
Does your eating behavior change when eating alone versus with others? If yes, positively on or negatively, that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I really like these next questions. Oh, I take that back. I think they're good questions. These next two. Not sure. What do you guys think about them? I think it's getting at good data.
It is, but it's kind of a repeat of questions we have up above, I think.
Yeah. What do you? Anybody else wants to chime in on that?
I think I like these questions in place of these top questions. Like instead of do your friends or coworkers encourage you to eat out, we could say how many times a week do you and at least one friend eat out?
Yeah.
So I think we'd get better data with the second question.
I agree. So if we're choosing between those guys, I think we should choose that one rather than the first one.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, let's go on. This next section, I kind of like. How many church or other group functions do you attend a month outside of church? And then the next one, at how many of these functions are desserts or treats served? I think that is getting at some good data that we were wondering about. But
I think they're good, but I think it comes back down to your social network and your impact your nutrition thing.
gotcha. So, in other words, Debbie, you feel like it's already being answered by previous questions?
I do.
Okay. Lucy, do you want to second that?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. I wrote them, so I don't really care. Whatever.
Okay. Do you eat while watching TV or movies?
I put that one in, but I think that kind of I think that might be kind of come back together with your social network thing, because normally if you're going to watch TV and movies, you're going to be with your roommates, right?
I think we can definitely include something like, do you eat like there's a big difference. There's studies that show if you eat and do something else at the same time, you're likely to overeat and things like that. Whereas if you just only eat, then it's like healthier.
Well, what do you think of this one instead of that? Eat out of the bag, or do you, well, I don't know how you'd word this one. Because if you eat out of the bag, you can eat more than one serving. You know what I'm saying? If you eat out of a bag of potato chips or popcorn, you're going to eat more than one serving versus putting it in a bowl.
Yeah.
Is that too much?
Regardless, I don't think it's helping us answer anything about social.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think we should definitely take that idea and stick it in the final question section.
Okay.
Okay, what impact does your social network have on your diet? What are your guys' thoughts?
I think that was answered previously.
Does your social
The desert.
as a whole eat healthy? Does your social network impact your nutrition? Yep, so it's already taken care of. You guys care to delete it?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so now back to the top. So it's almost like we need to organize these a little better. These ones right here, I think should go first. Then goes then we gotta revise these guys. Does your social network as a whole eat healthy? Does your social network impact your nutrition? Does your eating behavior change when eating alone versus with others? If yes, positively or negatively? I almost feel like those are addressing the same thing as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think the eating behavior question is better than the social network question, just because it's
Which one?
does your social I think does your eating behavior change is a better question than does your social network impact your nutrition?
I agree. There's some important data there that we want to collect is we want to see the correlation between, let's say there is an interesting data that suggests people's families who eat healthy impact them less than people whose families eat unhealthy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Does your social Okay, yeah.
so if we
maybe.
if we delete that, we just need to somehow incorporate another question that would allow us to get data on like does your eating behavior change when eating alone versus with others? I like if yes, positive or negatively. If we include another question that asks, do your friends and family eat healthy? And then we can correlate those two together. We can get some interesting insight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't realize that it would be a scale, but yeah, now that you say that. Yeah, I think they're good. I think they're both good. Oops.
Does your eating behavior change when eating alone versus with others? If yes, positively or negatively? I like that question. Does your social network impact your nutrition? That's like a broad question, you know? It's like,
Mhm.
and does your eating behavior change when eating alone versus with others? Is very specific. It's focusing on an aspect of the broad. I think we could keep
I
both, still get good data.
I think they
What
work together.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
think both of them give good data. I've
mhm.
Okay.
future potential.
I think the next one could go away though. I mean, it's kind of being asked up above.
They kind of do ask the same thing though. I don't know. Oh shoot, guys. What are your guys' thoughts? Any new insights?
I think get rid of number 3.
We worked so hard on that one.
I know, but it's and it's a
I just
great
think
question. I just think that we're already asking it above because your friends and family eat healthy, and does your behavior change when they eat healthy? When I mean, it's gonna if you're eating with your, I mean, you're kind of asking the same thing in 2 different ways and using different words.
Yeah, so the first ones would be organized like this. Do your friends and family eat healthy on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being healthy, 1 being unhealthy? Does this impact your nutrition on a scale from negative to positive, 1 to 10? Where does it fall? That would give us that kind of data. The next question would be, we could do a scale as well. Does your eating behavior?
Well, and then we've got these.
What's up?
Sorry. We've got the ones down below that ask how many times a week do you and at least one friend eat out.
Yeah. I wonder if Lucy, would you be offended if we delete it? What are your thoughts though?
I don't really think they're asking the same thing.
Okay.
I think
what's the difference?
I think the first two are asking about your family and friends' behaviors impact on you. And then the next one is just kind of asking about your own behavior. I don't think they're quite the same thing. And the top one is just not super specific. I'm just thinking if I were taking the survey, it'd be way easier for me to answer specific questions, like that are really specific about my behavior rather than generally. I don't know. Because anyway, it's fine. You can take it.
I can see that.
And I have so many different friends and family who eat differently. Like, it's hard to clump them together.
Okay. So what if we keep both of them for now?
Yeah, I'm fine. And if you want to take it out, it's totally fine.
No,
I won't.
I think you make good points. I think that is important.
I'm good with whatever you guys want to do.
So I really like those. I think the fourth, do your friends or coworkers encourage you to eat out? If so, how often? I think that would be addressed in the third question. So I think we could delete it.
Yeah.
Debbie, what's your thoughts?
Yes.
Are you currently involved in the public or wellness program? If so, do you feel that overall nutrition has improved because of it? I think
that's a good question.
I like that one.
Okay. What if there was another follow-up question for that as well? Something like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in a public diet or wellness program? So we get data on, I just wonder how many people are really involved in a diet program like that.
Well, what does that mean? Because like there's like the Atkins diet, like all these different fad diets that a bunch of people are doing. Is that what that's talking about?
Yeah. If they interpret it that way, they're probably getting social support from it. They're like,
so maybe
I'm part of a group. I'm doing something.
Yeah. Maybe it's just kind of like not very clear.
How would you change it, Lucy?
See. Public diet. What if you just said like
public dieting trends?
Yeah. Like, are you currently subscribing to any diet trend or something. Dieting trend.
Like that?
Yeah, I think that's more clear. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like that.
How do you feel about it, Lucy?
I think it's good.
Okay. Perfect. I think we should do the follow-up question a little differently. I think we should use a scale and ask, how has this impacted your nutrition? And then positive to negative. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think we'd get better data doing that.
Perfect. Do your friends or family regularly try and encourage you to eat healthier? I've already asked that. Can I delete it?
Yep. That's me.
I think so.
How many times do you and at least one friend out? What if we change it to something else? I feel that's too specific. How many times a week do you and a friend eat together? I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, do you want to know how many times they eat out or how many times they just eat together?
I don't really care about them eating out. My question is whether or not their social support is influencing their nutrition.
Well, I agree, except that question, like, we don't know what they're eating.
Exactly.
So maybe we could just do a follow-up question.
Our question was like, how frequently are people eating out? Then I feel like that question would do well. Like how social support influences you eating out. But like me and my buddies went to Jamba Juice. Like, and I had a kale smoothie and it was delicious. So that, I don't think that's unhealthy. It's probably less healthy than a kale smoothie I make in my home, but it's more healthy than a burger. But I think if we rework it, it might be a really good question. It could give us a frequency number for how often do you eat with someone. I think that could have good data. How many times a week do you eat with someone else?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because that would give us data on yeah.
Okay, just so you guys know, I gotta go in like 5 or so minutes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, someone else. Okay. How many times a week do you eat with someone else? How many times a week do you and at least one friend eat together? I feel the last question takes care of that. Are we good at deleting that one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I feel like we got our main questions down really fast. Let's count them up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I think we could keep all of the other questions, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We can keep all of the demographic questions if we wanted. Look at them. Is there anyone that you don't like?
I like all the demographic questions.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
Okay. Perfect. So we'll keep them. And then, sorry guys, my roommate's being funny.
I
Final-
heard a heartbeat.
What?
That I heard a heartbeat thing going on.
Oh, that is our dishwasher. Sorry.
No,
I
that's
know,
fine.
it sounds really weird.
At least
Okay.
yours is working. Mine died.
Oh, dang it.
So it says, which of these factors, oh, I like that. Which of these factors influence your food choices the most? Stress, friends, nutritional content, or time? I feel we can reword that though and get better data. And we could say something like, on a scale of 1 to 10, rank how much these different factors influence you. Or because if we ask which of these 4 factors influence your food choices the most, that limits us. But if we put it on a scale of 1 to 10, then we can say, like, we can just compile all the numbers and be like, what influence people's the most is this. But I really like the question. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think the scale would be good.
Sure.
So, like, on a scale of 1 to 10. So, like, you'd rank these things
Yeah.
instead of. Okay, yeah.
Stress influences my food choice. 10 all the time. 1 none of the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nutrition impacts my food choices. 10 all, or I don't know. What was the nutritional content one supposed to get at?
Like, do you choose foods because they're more healthy or not? That's what that means.
I like that. I don't know how we can incorporate it though. Let's see. Because that's a really good question. But it's like you almost need to ask it in a question in and of itself.
Yeah, if we can think of
I
a.
like the question just the way it is.
What if we did do that? What if we did it just on a scale with the other ones and we include nutritional content? So have the question be something like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how does nutritional content influence your decision? Or something like that.
Like, have it's a separate question.
I'm almost debating making each stress, friends, nutritional content, and time each their own question, but similar format. So like, stress influences your food choices on a scale of 1 to 10, how much? Friends influence your food choices on a scale of 1 to 10, how much? Nutritional choices influence your food choices on a scale of 1 to 10, how much? And time influences. Just so we can get that good data, the scale data.
I like that.
Yeah, sure. That do we have the space for that?
Sure we do. Why not?
Okay, great.
I honestly don't know, but I think it'll be fine. We've kept within the limit so far, which is what we were aiming for. Do you consider yourself a healthy person? I really like that question.
Yep, I do too. I think that's totally what we want to know.
Do you feel you make healthy food choices? I feel like that's the same thing.
I think that's a little. We've answered that question and other questions.
What are your thoughts, Lucy?
Maybe the bottom one's better for what we want to know. Because it's more specific.
Instead of, do you consider yourself a healthy person?
Right.
All right, I agree. What are your thoughts, Debbie?
Sure. Works for me.
Sure. Okay. All right. anything else you wish to share? Nice and vague. Allows people to complain about the survey. I think it's an important part of any survey is to include something like that with a free response section. What are your guys' thoughts?
That's
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
Do you eat while you, okay, and these are the other ones that we put down here.
Yeah, we don't really need those though, do we?
No, I don't think we do. Lucy, what do you think?
I don't think we do either.
Okay.
Okay, how are we on questions? Are we good? How many questions do we need?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We're fine.
Okay.
I missed some just because there's follow-up questions within the questions, but I'm sure I'm sure it's fine. This is what she said. And
So all these ones at the bottom we can get rid of.
surveys for this class should be 20 to 25 questions, including demographic section questions. In some rare cases, longer surveys will be required, but anything shorter will not yield enough data. So she doesn't seem overly concerned about us going over. She's concerned about us going under.
Okay.
All right. So on to the fun things. Okay. So now we have our survey. Congratulations, guys. Well done.
Hey, don't forget to remove those ones at the bottom before you turn it in, Curtis.
Yeah, this is a, I don't think we're turning this in until Saturday. But we needed to finish the survey in order to start writing the essay. So are you guys aware of the essay that's due Wednesday?
Yes.
You mentioned it, but I forgot about it.
Methods and sampling framework. That's what we're doing. It's the roadmap for your project, blah, blah, blah. So we need to include a section on sample. So here, I'm going to copy and paste this sucker. Okay. All right. So I'm creating a new document again. And we're calling it so it's called Methods and Sampling, okay, guys? Framework. I'll send, there's going to be a link in the sidebar. Okay, can you guys open that up?
I'll try on my phone. Let's
Sampling
see.
framework, is that what you said?
Yeah, I included it in the chat thing off to the side.
Okay.
All you do is click on the link.
All right.
Okay, I don't think I can access it on my phone.
Okay.
Let's see. Hey, Rob. We can get in the car. We can continue in the car.
Okay. Who's all there?
I'm still here.
Okay. So we need to assign someone to do introduction, or rather, someone to do the sample section of the essay, someone to do the instrument assessment description of the essay, someone to do the data collection process of the survey, and data analysis of the survey. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. We have the perfect amount. So Landon will get assigned a section, and we will too, every one of us. And then maybe if Mac decides to come, we'll give him something. All right, so this is what the sample section is. A brief description of the sample, including why this group was chosen, ease of access, representative of the U.S. population as a whole, etc. Description and justification for sampling method selected. Explain only why you chose that particular method. Do not focus on why other methods were not selected. So this is the DEVO, where the people going to DEVO is our sample. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And we might include, if we need more data, like something else. But no, we're not. Just DEVO people. But we might decide to go more than 1 week. So who wants to take that section? Okay, we'll move on.
Either
and
one
then,
of you two have a really good flair for words, so
what?
I think one of you two should have that.
Okay, either me or Landon.
So I think one of you two is really good at that.
I think, Lucy, were you there for that discussion?
No, I wasn't. I did watch the video, but I wasn't there.
Okay.
I guess that same thing, but
Yeah, so you could if you wanted. Let's
Yeah.
move on, and then you guys decide which ones you want to do. So, instrument assessment description section. Explain how your survey was developed. Were the questions based on previous surveys? Was it written entirely by you? Explain how questions were chosen for the survey and why. I think any one of us could do that section except for Landon or Mac.
yeah, I can do that one.
Okay, so we'll put in brief Lucy, and then we'll maybe go back to it. Okay, data collection process. Once you have explained how the survey was written / will be written, you need to give a plan for distribution. How will you reach your sample? Will you use an online survey? If so, what survey hosting platform will you use? Will a reminder follow-up be provided during the data collection period? How long will your survey be available? So I think we're going to have to work very closely with the sample and data collection process together, because those sound very similar to me.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Let's read the last paragraph. It says, once your data comes in, what will you do with it? How will you analyze it? This will be 1 to 2 sentences at most, but the data analysis plan, including the software used, should be included. You will add to this later in the semester. Anybody want that one?
But I don't know what programs you guys were talking about, so I don't know if I'm the one for that.
Probably use Excel.
Oh, then I can do that. At least I can. It's up to you guys. What would you prefer?
I have the Excel sheet with all the formulas and stuff from my stats class that we can use.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can write the paragraph, but if you're going to be somebody else is going to be the one totaling that, maybe they should be the one to write that.
I would say, Debbie, you go for
Where
it,
they
and
know.
then we'll come together as a group and look it over.
Okay. That'll work.
So then I'll tackle, I think me and Landon can do the data collection process or the sample.
Okay.
I'll try and do the sample because it's the most vague and weird one there is, so I'll probably do okay at it. Curtis, and then Landon will take the data collection process, and then we'll come together and write an intro, or somebody or anybody can write a basic intro, and then we'll modify it in a conclusion. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is the thing that's due Wednesday. This is the thing we got to get done. So we have from now until Wednesday to do that.
Okay.
So what that means is that you have to write your sections and have a rough draft ready for us to review and combine together like we did with the other literature review. By Wednesday.
Okay. Are you going to create a...
Huh?
Sorry. Are you going to create another document then that we can add our stuff to that?
If you want, or you can throw it in this one. Do you want another one?
All right, one. You said, yeah, let's do another one. I'm sorry, you're working with an old lady here. Late to the prom, so you know.
Hey, so you're a young buck. All right. Okay. But you
Okay,
know,
well, you guys, I'm gonna take off. Is that okay?
yeah, you're good. Thank you for coming, Lucy.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Okay. So I've changed the one that we just made is the outline. It says outline methods and sampling framework. The new one is called methods and sampling framework. So go ahead and add your paragraphs into there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Okay, have a good one, and I will see you.
Okay, we'll see ya.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
Bye.